Howdy out there, everyone. Today we're going to be looking at this terrific Guillermo Del Toro film called Nightmare Alley, which of course is based on a classic William Lindsay Gresham pulp novel, noir novel, and was originally made into a film in the 1940s with none other than, goodness gracious, Tyrone Powell in the lead part, and Joan Blondell, among others. And I reviewed that original film in an earlier video. Here it is again. This is the Criterion Blu-ray release, and I love the original Nightmare Alley. I feel like that is a film that just stands head and shoulders above most that were made in that era, especially given the confinement of the code that studios had to contend with. It really skirts the line, walks right up to it, just even maybe sticks a toe over it, and does it in a way that still maintains its artistic credibility. It doesn't feel gimmicky. Now, Nightmare Alley, the Guillermo del Toro version, is just a wonderful recreation of the film. It hews slightly closer to the book, I believe. I haven't actually read the book, but I've read up on it, and Guillermo didn't want to remake the movie. He wanted to just try to do his own version of the book, and it's certainly very similar in feel to the original film, and I think that's largely due to his reverence to it, but at the same time, it's definitely a darker film, and it has a terrific ending. I mean, it's dark. It's incredibly dark. But I got to give Guillermo credit, because this is in no way, shape, or form any kind of typical Hollywood production. This is the kind of movie that cinephiles wish Hollywood would make. And thankfully, Guillermo del Toro has stepped up to the task and just created a wonderful film. Visually, aesthetically, cinematography, production quality, costumes, I mean, just on down the line. This is one of the most beautiful looking movies I've ever seen, and on 4K it just looks amazing. It looks so tactile. It feels so real, and that's saying a lot, because I feel like the original Nightmare Alley looks similarly impressive. They had built the carnival from scratch as well in that 1940s production, but Guillermo did the same here, and he of course had the luxury of having just a pretty sizable budget, and was able to make a movie that I think just looks, feels, and just sort of envelops you in a very stunning way. I will admit that this newer version is a little long. I feel like it could have probably been trimmed here or there, but the ending is so damn good that I'll forgive it for that, because I feel like, there are times when, lingering on a shot collectively might have caused that length. It just looks so damn good. I mean, the movie is just truly stunning, and the cast is terrific. Bradley Cooper, who I think actually does a really good job in the part. I do think he's a little old for the part, but he acquits himself nicely. Here we have Toni Collette, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara. I mean, really, the whole cast is just fantastic. I was trying to sort of rack my head around, okay, if not Bradley Cooper, then who? Now, I read that Leo Dicaprio was actually in negotiations to play the Stanton Carlisle character, but could not come to agreement on his contract, so he didn't sign up. Bradley did, and I think Bradley did a fine job. The only thing I would just say is that the character is supposed to be maybe 30 years old, and Bradley, of course, is in his mid-40s. So it was a little more difficult to kind of get around that. But he looks great. He doesn't, look too old for the part per se. But I think that they might have been able to cast someone maybe even like a Robert Pattinson in the part, and it could have been a little bit more age appropriate, especially given how effective Tyrone Power was in that original. And I believe he was in his early 30s. So again, this remake is just across the board great. It's just a little long, but apart from that, and again, the aforementioned sort of observation I had on the lead role, I think that it's basically it delivers in spades. It's a fantastic film noir, but with 2022 sensibilities, with a crushingly bleak ending that was very daring. I highly recommend this film, and of course, the Blu-ray that I reviewed the standard def DVD in an earlier video, but I highly recommend revisiting or taking a look at the original Nightmare Alley as well. I think that they go very well together, and Criterion just released this earlier last year, and they did a great job, and it's one of those films that again, given the constraints of the era, I think they managed to make a remarkably timeless film. So, Nightmare Alley, definitely check it out. Highly recommend this 4K release. So until that next time, whenever it shall be, please do take care out there. Be kind, stay safe, and keep watching movies.